Great rising, everyone. I'm going to give it some time for people to come in, but I just wanted to leave you a little morning motivation and some good vibes, as y'all know I like to do. So I first wanted to start off with, I know I say silly things about fear and this, that, and the third. Hello, goddess, beautiful being. And the point of me saying silly things is to kind of bring some lightness into the space. A lot of the times, especially with all the elections and just the energetic shifts that we are going through, there's a lot of tension in the air, and laughter, as stated, is one of the best medicines. And so I wanted to be lighthearted. I wanted to be silly. I wanted to make jokes. But in all truth and reality, I don't say these things for us to feed the spirit of fear. I want us to be able to harmonize with ourselves so much that it doesn't matter what external events are going on. It doesn't matter if there's a pandemic. It doesn't matter who is president in your nation, wherever you are. It doesn't matter who your environment is that is around you, your surroundings. All that matters is what is inside. And the reason I say that is because when we allow ourselves to really say, wait a minute, this may be coming from a place of trauma, or this may be coming from a place of fear, where is it rooted from? A lot of the surface emotions, I keep getting messages here, a lot of the surface emotions that's present is actually from something deeper, right? And so you have to ask yourself, well, why do I feel this way? And regardless of your religious beliefs and stuff, the moral of the story is be not afraid. It's making sure that you release yourself from certain illusions, or not certain, from all illusions. And the reason I guess I say certain is because even like I said, this is a thought form. Yeah, I say it's a thought form because it's an illusion. That it's made in God's image. And I mean, while I look so good, I want y'all to know that y'all look so good too, right? Because y'all could only attracts right? Just saying. But at the same time, this is only an aspect of who I am. Only an aspect in this dimension. It's I don't like to let just anyone read me. And I know it has become hot trend, everyone and everything. Spirit is in everything. Spirit is in everything. So now everybody want to be spiritual. It's fine. We're born spiritual, right? What type of spirit are you? That's a whole topic. And that goes the same for who you let do readings on you or do energy work with you, because not everybody is tapping into benevolent forces that's going to be working in your greatest good. And if this person is constantly feeding you fear, constantly feeding you problems rather than solutions, what spirits is this person really connecting with? And that lets you know the vibrations that they are connecting with. Because if someone is constantly you go to them as a reader and they're oh, you have this hex and this, and I'm not saying it happens. It doesn't happen to everyone. Okay? It doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen. But if they're just constantly telling you that they can fix it, and they're not telling you how they're helping you fix it, what it is that you need to do, and all they're saying is, oh yeah, I can do it, just give me the money. No. That's a no-go for me. For me, that's a no-go. That's a like, okay, well, if you can't tell me what is being done, what are you so afraid of? Because for me, it's like, and I had to learn this even with buying. I remember one time I went to go buy an oil, and a good friend of mine had taught me, like, when I make certain things, when they ask you what's the ingredients inside, you gotta, by law, you gotta tell them, because there could be an ingredient in there that can trigger, an allergic reaction or whatever the case may be. But if you so confident in your being, you will give your recipe and you be like, they don't got my touch. So you're not going to be afraid of somebody stealing your secret recipe or this, that, and the third. Now, in some cases, you could give the ingredients without the proper proportions or whatever the case may be, but, so go and I get an oil. Hello, goddess, hello. And I asked, what is in this oil? And she was like, oh, it's specially made for you. I said, well, I see that. What is in it? She named like 3 things, and then she was like, and the rest, I can't disclose. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Since it's specially made for me, why can't it be disclosed? What is the big deal? It's just things like that. I didn't say that to the person, so to speak, but that was what was in my mind. Like, I make oils. Are you afraid that I'm going to make the same oil and like sell it? Because then the same thing you're trying to teach me to tap into my spirit of abundance, to tap into my spirit of courage, to tap into all of this that, I need, right? Why are you limiting with yourself? Because now I'm so good at seeing limitations and seeing fear that I can recognize it. And I'm like, okay. Now, if you say with purpose, why it may, listen, this is what it is, but for these reasons. Now you give a solution. You're not just giving off the fear. And so at that point, maybe it's not fear that you're trying to give, but to prevent something, if I could speak, right? So I say that to say that it doesn't matter what the results will be for the president. That's just an ingredient. What are you doing with your ingredients is going to be important to you, right? If they don't want to disclose everything to you, right? Because they don't even disclose everything to the president. So if the government's not disclosing everything to you, at that point, you have to start thinking for yourself. They're telling us this, that, and the third, right? But they're not giving us full solutions. Why? If your mind is giving you a solution, if your spirit is giving you a solution, your intuition is giving you a solution, and it seems above the influence of that which is trying to influence you, you go on with your bad self and you say, fear not. I will trust myself. I will trust my spirit. I will trust in the Most High. And you go and you act upon what is according to you and your spirit. Because you know what? Those that are around you, they may be tapping into lower vibrations. And that's, sometimes it's okay. You need to listen. Take heed to what all the spirits are saying. And I say that for the readers as well, because there's people that they'll read me and they will be on point saying things, and then there's certain people that they'll read me and they'll like they could be reading like past stuff, and it's like, okay, you reading the past, that's cool, because sometimes that's necessary, right? And so they're not inaccurate. Time and space is different. But then there's times when they're reading things that it's like, yo, like, what spirit you talking to? Like, I need to have a chat with your spirit guides, because they finna get you in places with people and things that, and I know from experience, because I got into places with people and things that I ain't have no business getting into, and that's because my ass, like, when it comes down to fear, nah, be not afraid. Be not afraid. But you gotta be not afraid to tell these people too, like, listen, that spirit you tapping into, you gonna have to do something. You need to drink some cold water. You know, really just breathe, right? Let's breathe together. Maybe you tapping into somebody else, especially like if it's a collective reading and stuff like that. Like sometimes, they might just be tapping into your energy along with somebody else's energy that's watching in the collective. Like they might be reading you, and then all of a sudden somebody else is like, oh my gosh, that sounds like it resonates with me. So now they're getting so deep in tune into the collective reading that now the person, it has the potential. It depends. Not everyone is like that. I'm just saying, use your discernment. It might get to the point where, like, now two people in the collective are so into the same reading that now she or he originally started reading one person, and now because their vibration is so similar and in the same space and time of going through the same things in accordance, she might be picking up something else in the other person's story than just picking up things in your story. This is why it's a big difference between a collective reading, okay, and a personal one-on-one reading. All right. And at the same time, those collective readings, even with you just watching, I had to learn that the hard way too, because like everyone here, great rising, we here as a collective, we vibing on the same vibe. So all that's going to be here is purification, is love, is abundance, is truth and righteousness, because that's the vibe that we living on, and that's it. Right. But if y'all sitting here and there's other people that's coming in with some real fuck shit, trying to disturb peace, break, just creating separation and stuff, like, no, I'm not saying that we're separate from that. I'm saying we so in tune with ourselves that our house is built on solid ground, and so we've learned through the cracks. And we can see that, and we can help them in a sense, rather than judging people. It's like, you don't have to give people money to help them. You don't have to, sometimes it's just planting the seed. Sometimes it's just your voice. Sometimes it's just a smile. Sometimes it's walking away, and it doesn't mean that y'all are actually separate. It just means that y'all paths are collectively in wholeness where it needs to go in accordance to its greatest good, and it's working in divine plan, and that is wholeness. That is not, it doesn't have to be separation. Right. And that's something that, I had to learn through too. But again, the collective readings, energetically, we share in this space here, the vibes that we have, being on that frequency, on that certain frequency, is going to be important to you, because afterwards, if you're not cleaning yourself, you're not cleaning your space, you're not drinking water, you're not cleansing yourself in whatever way, you can keep about your business throughout the day and might experience something in your environment now, or in your matrix, in your world, that is divinely connected to somebody else that was in the live, and they may be in a whole other place in the world, but now you have that experience, and you might just be like, damn, like, what did I do to attract this, or what did I do? And it's like, you just, shared a frequency with another spirit that's on that vibe and on that frequency. And it can go both ways. It could go in a good way, and it can go in a quote unquote bad way. None of it is good or bad. It's all just an experience, but it's to be mindful, because I know for me, Like I be going through certain experiences and I be like, damn, yo, what just happened here? Like, seriously. And then I have to think and I'm like, you know. But if I let that fear get to me, I'll forget about it. I'm gonna, put myself in this low vibrational space and just be like, not get things done. And that's a very dense feeling. And you can be skinny, you can be heavy set, whatever. There's that energetic weight makes a big difference. It makes a big difference on your flesh, on your matter, because it creates that density. So, try to just keep yourself light as a feather. Laugh as much as possible. Be aware, know what's going on, but like they say, be in the earth, not of the earth. Just do what you gotta do. We all gonna be all right. If you haven't gotten those coins, make sure y'all doing what y'all gotta do, right? Because there is a lot of changes that's happening here. If you feel like you do need some advice, you can hit me on the DM, email me, and we can set something up. But I do want y'all to know that regardless of what's going on in your life, and whatever's happening externally is just for you to really tap into who you are and really like be you unapologetically, without fear. Because that fear is what will cause you to tap into your triggers, right? And then you get trigger happy. Everybody get trigger happy, right? But that God body be like, yo, that bullet do not penetrate. Then you be like Neo, you start flexing. And that's what it's about. Like, feel the vibe, and if it don't feel like it's you, then you put it in its place, because you, right? And if it feels like it's a part of you, or you want it a part of you, then you make it blend with you however you alchemize it to be. But you are the alchemist, right? And that's what they don't want you to tap into. Whoever. It could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your grandparent. It could be the government. It could be your right leg. It could be your ego. It could be whatever they is. Because if they is not you is not they, then that's a separation. You need to go into you. And when you and your wholeness, you recognize, you start seeing, damn, that's my spirit of conflict right there. Y'all ever did a liver cleanse or like a certain detox, and y'all start seeing y'all own spirits coming out and trying to like use people as agents? Man, listen. You gotta be able to identify you. Because I didn't see me use other people. And I'm like, and then I gotta look at me through them. And I'm like, man, I be on some shit. I really be on some stuff, right? So, shitting is natural. Shitting is a form of purging, right? And I be on that purge shit. So I be like, I be running, let them go and stuff, right? But I'm able to identify. And so because of that, I'm able to alchemize that spirit in a way of like, okay, how can I nurture you? How can I love you? How can I work with you in a way? And sometimes it has to come to me in a way of looking external, right? Sometimes it has to come to me and, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to like, this anger, I need to work on my spirit of anger or whatever, because I really be on one and I don't want to keep getting triggered. So then I start working and certain organs, certain places, and really purging this shit out. And then I have somebody come out in front of me, and they could be a friend, they could be a family member, and all of a sudden they just come trying to like trigger for no reason. Like no real reason other than the fact that they're irate and they feel like doing it, but they wasn't irate previously and everything like that. And you really gave them no reason, right? You didn't give the person, the vessel, a reason. But that spirit has a reason, because you are internally making that shift. You are internally cleaning that house. So now that spirit is like, wait a minute, you're not giving me a home here. You kicking me out. And that spirit might feel abandoned. That spirit might feel spiteful. That spirit might feel angry, or whatever the case may be, because now you transitioning and you transforming into another aspect of yourself. And you're like, wait a minute, but I'm you too. I'm you too. So why can't I live here? Why can't I live here? Why do you want to eliminate me so much? That's what your spirit is saying. So, then you got to look at your spirit and you're like, it's not that I'm abandoning myself, but now I see why you catching a tantrum, and this is how I can nurture it. This is how I can tap into it, so I could give you a home inside of me, but in a healthy way, where it's where I like it, where it's in wholeness, not where you in control. I am the soul, you are the spirit. I am the soul, you are the spirit. So I'm going to look at the spirit in the eye and I'm going to say, well, the only way you can get back into my house and be accepted into heaven is by not denying me. Because the moment you try to overthrow me, honey, you're going to have to go outside. And you're going to get a tantrum. And then you're going to try to test me because you're going to want to come back home. And that's okay. And don't we do that? We do that as people when we don't like things, when things don't go our way. We catch these tantrums, or we want somebody to blame. No, this should really be us. This should really be us. I had to look at a friend in the face and laugh, because I was doing some real cleansing type shit, and I was like, yo, I had to G-check myself. And then I see this shit, literally I could see it in her. And I was like laughing, and I'm like, yo, it's all right. Like, I love you. I love you. And she was just so mad at me, and I was just like, and then they just kind of kept getting quiet because I wasn't feeding it in that way. And there was a point where I didn't even say nothing. I was just quiet. Like, I was just like, I'm not entertaining it. And later on, like, they was just like, all right, we really need to have a talk. Like, what went on today? Like, and I was like, you want to hear the truth, or you want to hear something that's gonna make you comfortable? Because in truth, you was being used as a vessel. Like, you was a motherfucking agent. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, that spirit of conflict, I was releasing that shit, and like, I released it, right, in the space, but I didn't get to neutralize it. I didn't like neutralize it. I didn't transform it. I was just doing the releasing aspect of it. And so the spirit needed somewhere to go, because it wanted to come back. It wanted to come back home, but I didn't give it a home. So it went to the next vessel that was openly and willingly accepting that spirit into it. And so it was the spirit of conflict, and you was just starting to feel confrontational. And as I witnessed it, I was like, I'm not going to feed you. I'm not feeding you. I'm not going to be scared of you either. So I'm going to laugh. I'm going to smile. I'm going to identify you. Because now I'm aware that you trying to really target me. And it's not the person, it's the spirit. So now I can neutralize the spirit because I'm able to identify the spirit and alchemize the spirit to work in a way that is going to serve in my highest and greatest good. Shall I allow the spirit to come back home so that it is wholeness, completion? Same goes for sadness. And a lot of the times we hear online, oh, release your stuff. Now everybody want to run away from their problems. Now everybody want to just breathe and release without neutralizing. No, it's a process to everything, because you releasing these spirits, and that's what's going on in the world, is that we've been releasing so many different spirits out here. And we haven't been taking the responsibility and the accountability for those spirits that we releasing, that they just going mayhem out here. Niggas is having a party, like a real full party out here. And y'all really mad, like, really, how much times I know I could say, yo, I'm responsible for some of this stuff because I done released a lot of things because I didn't want it in me no more. And sometimes it's not about what you want. That's an aspect of you doesn't want that. Which aspect of you knows that is you? Which aspect of you knows that is you? And when you connect with that and all right, wait a minute, this is me here. Not that you can control the external people. You only can control you. So when you identify you and your spirits in an external being, you say, wait a minute, she is not separate from me. In fact, she is a reflection, a projection that my spirits are using so that I could identify me, so that I could identify what it is that I want to be and do with myself. Because it's okay if you might like something one way one day and the next day you don't, and you have every right to transform however you like. And sometimes you're gonna have spirits inside of you that don't know or don't want to transform with you because they're like, wait a minute, this is how we function. And you the only one that can make it healthy for you. You can have mentors. You can have people that can help guide you, that can help teach you. But you have to believe in you. You have to do the action. You have to put in the work. You have to identify. We could identify everything in you. We could do your readings. We could tell you, yo, this is what, for example, I don't know if you still in here, Latrice, but she was a great example. It was one time I was doing like, I don't know, was it the childhood workshop? It was either like the inner child workshop or it was a chakra workshop. And we had, one of the tasks was to eat like one of our old childhood snacks. And her snack was so yummy and so healthy. I think it was like cucumbers or something like that. With like, it was a certain way that it was made. And I swear my ass bought me candy, but that was what my spirit, at that time, that's what it was like. And she was tapping into the healthy version of that in her childhood, but that was really something that she experienced in her childhood, right? And I had to really look at that because I was like, we had the ability to choose whichever snacks it was that we wanted to do or whatever. I did get fruits as well. But what was it? I think it was Chico sticks. I like me some Chico sticks. They are vegan, by the way. But you know, just because something vegan don't mean that it's the most healthiest thing for you and stuff like that. And I got me my little Chico stick and I was super happy and stuff like that. But oh man, did I get like a little toothache later on because of all them sugars, you know? And I was like, you know, that's for me to learn the lesson, because it may have been something that back then it didn't really affect me in a certain way, but maybe it's affected me now, and who I'm trying to be today, that spirit that likes those sugars, I could feed that spirit. You want sweetness, you want sugar, okay, but I could do it now in a different way. I don't have to abandon the spirit. I don't have to neglect my spirit. I don't have to be afraid of the changes. I don't have to be afraid. You know, everybody, oh, I gotta change, I gotta do this. You do whatever you want to do. Don't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do. You know? Now, if you so lost out there and there is some gotta do things, like, that's on you at the end of the day still. Like, you gonna do what you want to do, because you put yourself here on a path, on a purpose. We have a plan. We have a north node. We have a south node. We have all the planets in a certain alignment that we chose. We chose to put our planets in these alignments. And that's the plan that you put for yourself, right? And in your spirit, you might be saying, damn, I gotta do better. I gotta do better. But you gonna do what you want to do. And you gotta see which spirit of you is the one that feels like it gotta do something, and which spirit of you wanna do something. Because you just existing. You just existing. And the part of you that may want to do something, guess what? The same spirit that wants to do the opposite of what it gotta do has a commonality. The commonality is you. It has a commonality that one has one wants and the other one has another wants, just using different words. It is all you. You are the desire. You are the plan. You are the good. You are the bad. You are the fear. You are the light. You are the darkness. It is all you. You are the commonality in everything. There's a lot of spirits that we put out here and we gave birth to and we gave life to. Or if we didn't necessarily birth it, it was birthed through our genetics, right? And we still carried it, and we may just be releasing it, and it needed a home, and it used somebody else as a vessel, instead of it being transformed. And that is what this whole change is about. Do you know, every time you wear those masks, you are transforming your inner world? You're transforming the oxygen levels. You're transforming the water molecules in your body. That's either feeding one spirit and making weaker another spirit. It is all you. It's all you. It's all you. It's all you. You may not want to admit that, because we don't always admitting what the fuck it is we put out there, what it is that we do. I got a spirit of ratchet, and I got a nasty, dirty spirit, And I got a happy-go-lucky spirit. And I got a sad spirit. I got all these spirits. Oh, I'm so fucking abundant with spirits that when people try to tell me something about myself, I be like, did your spirits tell you that? Because I hope they listen. Sometimes people be trying to do the most sometimes, and you just gotta laugh, because you gotta know who you gotta know who you, and you gotta know who you and them, and say, okay, because now I know how to overthrow this spirit. So you don't be afraid. It don't matter. They could be you could feel like you an ant and they a giant. And you ain't gonna be afraid. Don't ants be biting people? People be running away from insects and smaller things sometimes, and they be looking like they giant to them. Because they know they spirit. They know who they are. And they scared of y'all. Y'all ever seen, I know this gonna sound ratchet, y'all ever seen, I know y'all seen roaches before, nigga. We have like, and I'm gonna say nigga, I done said nigga right now, I guess so. That's where I'm going. Right, a little, let's not be ignorant now. Okay, okay. Y'all ever seen a roach not be afraid to like die? Like, y'all ever seen a roach like look at you and know you about to like just go over there and try to kill you, and this roach try to be gangster and like try to like leave or something? Like, yo, I swear I don't like roaches. Oh, I do not like roaches. I do not like roaches, but they be, I'm telling you, because they know they spirit. I swear they some type of aliens, and them bitches, yo. Yeah, exactly. It's funny, but it's the truth. It's the truth, man. Or like even them big ones. Nah, man. Nah. Y'all finna be defeated. I can't have this. I can't have this in my atmosphere. I don't want it. You know? But at the same time, have y'all ever like seen a roach and actually just like don't kill it and like look at it and like learn from it? Like, that's a underground spirit. You know, you just gotta be mindful of what it is. Like, like, all right, is this at this moment gonna serve me? What is, this lesson here? I don't like this spirit. I don't like these spirits. But what they be trying to pee everywhere to follow a motherfucking track. So they remind you to, like, everywhere that you leave your spit, everywhere you leave your energy is traceable in a sense, right? They trace back their energy. That's something that you can do. You can trace back your energy. You can trace back your story to get back where you need to go. Right? You can learn it that way, right? Where my soul come from, where my soul need to go. So now you start meditating, you start trying to just breathe into your spirit and let you trace you back to home base. Let you trace you back to home base. Or maybe there was some dinosaurs or something around and you needed to find a way to survive, Or maybe there was some, there's just some offerings right there and you finna eat. Oh, we got some, it's so abundant. They just left some leftovers there. This is for us. It's unclaimed. So now we claim it. You learn different things. You ever seen a water bug or palmetto bug or a roach fly? Damn, they got wings. They got wings. Do they always go on their wings? No, they know. They pick and choose when they want to fly. They pick and choose when to climb, when to fly, when to stay still. I mean, they still nasty. I don't like them. But you learn. And then you learn, okay, so what part of that is you? What part of that is you? Because I still don't like them. You know, the birds, you know, different things. What spirit? I know when I see a certain energy, like right now there's a bee right there outside, the busy bee. She's like, yeah, get to work, I'm about to let y'all go because I got some things I gotta do in a moment. But the point is, like, you know, being attentive and knowing what's you. She got that sweet nectar. That sweet nectar. Do you know the female bee is the one that stings? She's the one that produces the venom. And if you really look at even certain spiders, the female, a lot of insects, the females are the bigger one, and they usually produce double the amount of venom than the male species of that species. So when they be like, that girl is poison, ask yourself, what kind of poison is that? Because there's some poison out there that done healed me. But that shit could be deadly. Deadly to what, spirit? If we are immortal beings, what is afraid to die? What needs to die? Dying is a form of transformation. So when we are releasing, when we are quote unquote ego deaths, quote unquote dying in certain ways, what is it being transformed into? What is it being transformed into? You command that. Say it with your chest. Be not afraid. Say it with your chest, and say it with a voice of authority. You're going to be all right. If you watching this live, you're going to be all right. Because we're going to be all right. Because I love myself, so I love you. All right? I do gotta let y'all go. May y'all have a very, very phenomenal is a very basic word too if you really look up the dictionary. So, but ecstatic and eccentric day. Okay? Highest will for all, again and again and again and again. Peace out, all right? Don't be so serious, all right? Don't even take my jokes too serious, because I be saying some shit. I don't be so, why so serious? Listen, I got many spirits in me. But be not afraid. I know I was talking about fear. Don't know. That's it. I be joking. I be joking because I know me. So know you. Peace.